Whoa, can't see anything. Good morning. Okay, so it is 6 a.m. It's time to get some coffee. Let's have a look. Look at all the sauces I have. Okay, don't judge, I have a lot of sauces. Oh no, there's no milk left. Okay. So today, let's talk about the Skilled Independent 189 visa. I know a lot of people are speculating that there's gonna be an invitation round on February 8th, based on the recent invitation round. So they had one in August and also in December. But you know what? Who knows? Previously, a few years ago, it used to be once a month. It would be like clockwork on the 11th of every month. I remember when people used to just wake up really early to just check if they got an invitation. It was crazy back then. However, towards the beginning of 2020, I reckon, it got really tough, and we were saying that we were advising clients that you needed 95 points, 100 points to apply. And it really depended on the occupation as well. All right. Morning. So we are at the Fortitude Valley station. Yay! This is where I get my morning coffee sometimes when I can't be bothered walking down. Very quiet. Yay. Snow peas. Okay, so let's get my favorite milk. This one. Oh my god, that was on sale. Got my coffee, little oat milk, which I prefer. Do you know they put mirrors in lifts on purpose? So people look at themselves and it kills the time on the lift, apparently. I think I saw it on TikTok. Okay, so that's settled. Oh, what drama this morning not having milk. Have some oats and then there he is. Thank you. Oh. Okay, so I order light and easy for breakfast, lunch and dinner because I'm trying to diet at the moment and lose weight, but also for health purposes. There was one stage where I had a bit of high cholesterol, and you know what? I had light and easy for 3 months and it went down, so I'm very happy. Anyway, they had a Black Friday sale for extra lunch and dinner packs, so I got them. Yuming doesn't usually have light and easy. I make him something else, but I have it because you know what? Yeah, I just want to lose weight. Yeah, so I do this in BFT, which you guys will see a little bit later. But let's unpack. So that's why you saw my fridge was empty before. Now it's gonna be full of these green and blue bags. So I'm going to wash my face, and then I actually have a face towel. Then the Skill Select updated that they'll be doing invitation rounds once a quarter, but then that didn't even really happen. Well, look, I think there was some invitation rounds, but it was really, really small ones, and there was just no clarity, no transparency on how the program actually works. So come 2022, after Labor coming to power, so Anthony Albanese becomes the Prime Minister of Australia. Now, I don't know if this has anything to do with him, but I'm just saying, ever since he came into power, we've just seen so much action with migration. Thousands of invitations being issued for permanent residency. Millions of visas cleared off the backlog. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super excited to see whether this is gonna continue and whether for the next couple years, we're gonna see thousands and thousands of invitations issued at once. Because I heard from somebody that said that the government said that, and look, this is something that I heard, so it's like hearsay, but apparently they said that we need a million skilled workers in Australia stat, ASAP, pronto. Okay, enough rambling from me. Let's get stuck into the requirements, things to watch out for, and how to qualify for the 189 Skilled Independent Visa. Now, also guys, I really appreciate it if you like and subscribe and share this video with people that need it. It really, really helps my channel. And I have also introduced mini courses, little workshops that you can jump online and learn about Australian immigration. The website will be tagged below. Okay, so for the Skilled Independent 189 visa, it is a points tested visa. It is only available to those who have occupations on the medium term occupation list. So jump online to the skilled occupation list. I'll put a link below and you can check whether your occupation is on the medium-term occupation list. But for example, these occupations include registered nurses, secondary school teachers, mechanical engineers, civil engineers, ICT business analyst. If you have one of the occupations on this occupation list, then you need to check whether you qualify for a skills assessment. So then I put some of this cream on, which my mum actually buys this stuff for me. She loves buying it, I don't know why. But to be honest, this feels really, really rich. It's really nice. So just warm it up in the hands. It's supposed to have that thing, but I don't know where I put the wand. I lost it. Okay, so put that on. Oh, it feels so good. Feels good. It is very nice. I might have to buy another one. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so what I do is then brush your hair, kids. Brush your hair. So I brush about 30 strokes, and then I do another 70 to 100 at night. I don't know, I think it's improved my hair a lot, to be honest. And I said, oh, if I brush my hair, I just keep brushing my hair out and lose my hair. No, you actually grow more hair. It's crazy. I used to have so much hair. In the last couple of years, I swear I just started losing hair. Now, the skills assessment requirements definitely vary from occupation to occupation. So for example, if you are a mechanical engineer, you are assessed by Engineers Australia. If you are an ICT business analyst, you are assessed by the Australian Computer Society. If you are a chef, you could be assessed by Trades Recognition Australia or even VetAssess. So the most important thing for you to establish first is the occupation and how to get about that skills assessment. So that's that done. And now sunscreen. Some skills assessing bodies require the qualification only, and some skills assessing bodies require qualification plus work experience. They're not all created equal. I mean, if your goal is to migrate to Australia and you want to come to Australia to study, I think one of the most important things to consider is firstly the demand of the occupation, but secondly, how to get a skills assessment. Okay, so this is how my morning starts. I do consultations, so here we go. This is my little setup. I haven't put any makeup on yet, but anyway. I mean, that is why registered nurse, accounting, all those occupations were super popular at the time, because counsellors were advising that as soon as you graduate, you can apply for a skills assessment, which is exactly true. But then that's why there were so many people studying accounting, because firstly, a lot of colleges and universities offered it, but also because I guess it's quite easy to get into a Bachelor of Accounting or Masters of Accounting. So that's how that all happened. But anyway, going back to your own skills assessment, check your occupation, check the skills assessing body, and check if you meet the requirements for it. Now, let's assume you meet the skills assessment requirements and you're able to lodge an application for a skills assessment. So for example, you are a mechanical engineer and you've done a Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering overseas. That degree is equivalent to an Australian bachelor degree. So for example, it's over 3 or 4 years, but you do need to check this as well. Sometimes, overseas they have different requirements. So sometimes it is only equivalent to an associate degree here in Australia. Now you can check that with your agent or migration lawyer to see if it's at the right skill level. Now I do want to mention, to lodge any skilled visa in Australia, you must be under 45 at the time of invitation. You must have at least competent English, so it's equivalent to 6 in each band for IELTS, and you need to have a skills assessment in a nominated occupation on the relevant occupation list, depending which one you are going for. Today, we're talking about the Skilled Independent 189 visa, so you need to have an occupation on the medium-term occupation list. The 189 visa is points tested, so you need to meet the minimum of 65 points. Look, most people, especially if they can increase their English, they can reach to 65 points. So you can jump onto the points calculator and check how many points you have. Depending on your age, your English requirement, your qualifications, and if you are adding your partner to the application, you will get different points. Now be very careful when you are claiming points. A lot of the times we've had applicants come to us after they got an invitation and they want to lodge their visa. When we check the documentation, we realize that they overclaimed points. Now in a lot of situations you can overclaim points. You can accidentally overclaim for work experience, overclaim for the Australian study requirement, accidentally claim that you did a PhD. Things like this happen. It's super important to get this right and fully understand what those questions actually mean. There is a visa called the 188 visa and it's a business innovation stream. And I had a client who came to us, she had 105 points and I looked at it and 105 points is very, very high, especially for the business innovation visa stream. And I looked at her and she runs a business and she meets the asset and turnover requirement. I was like, oh, did you patent something? And she's like, no. I'm like, well, you claim points for that. I was like, oh, and do you have competent English? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, you claim points for that. So she overclaimed by like 20 points. So she got invited, but we couldn't use that invitation. I can't go through them all because it's just too much to go through, but a couple of things, make sure you're claiming the right age points. So if you are claiming 5 points for the Australian study requirements, do make sure that you actually meet it. So you studied in Australia, you study for a minimum of 92 weeks over 16 calendar months. Another one I see a lot of people make mistakes on is if you are claiming work experience points, you can only claim work experience that's first of all relevant to the occupation on your skills assessment and it must be post-qualification. So if you are a mechanical engineer, you must have studied a Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering, then worked as a mechanical engineer after you graduated. Only then are you at the required level. And it gets even more complicated if your work experience that you're claiming is in Australia. So if you are claiming Australian work experience, first of all, it must be post-qualification, but you must have actually held a valid visa, a substantive visa in Australia, a bridging visa A or a bridging visa B. If you held a bridging visa C or a bridging visa E, you can't claim this work experience. So this is what I get. Beans, 1 egg. So yeah. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, okay. So let's see. Okay, I love these donuts. They're literally my favorite. I talk about them. Oh, oh my god! Way to railroad my diet. Yeah. I love this brand, Edible Blooms. Their donuts are seriously the best. Like I always get them as gifts for people as well. I think they're so good on that. This is my second one as well. I'm gonna skip lunch. So these are just the things that you need to be aware of, but every single point that you're claiming, make sure you fully understand what you are claiming for. Because once you get invited, it's too late. For the 189, you can't go back. You can't change points. It's already locked. A lot of people will see once they're invited for their 189 visa, it's locked. Okay, so assuming you have submitted everything, make sure you do check your documents at all times. So at the time of invitation, everything must be valid. So you must have had a valid English, a valid skills assessment, same for your partner documents. So we set reminders for skills assessment expiries and English document expiries for all of our clients. I know it's actually pretty hard to remember everything if you're doing this yourself, but it's just something to keep in mind. We set like hardcore reminders. When you're lodging an expression of interest for this skilled independent 189 visa, do remember that it is only an expression of interest. There's no guarantee that you'll get an invitation. There's no time frame. That's why they call it an expression of interest. But do remember your expression of interest that you lodge from the date of lodgement, it actually expires 2 years after the date of lodgement. So if you haven't been invited within those 2 years, you'll need to submit a new one. So my word of advice is if you do submit one now, you can submit another one in like 18 months time if you haven't been invited yet, so that you're not waiting too long, you're still in the queue kind of thing. So that's just my kind of advice. Now, a lot of people are speculating that there will be an invitation round for the 189 visa around the 8th of February, which is calculated based on the previous invitation rounds. And look, I don't know, but yeah, anything can happen at this stage. And I do think that with the new government, like, they're just really promoting migration at the moment. So yeah, I think there's a possibility it can happen. But the 189 visa works based on points, and then when you actually submitted your application, and also the demand for the occupation at the time. So not all occupations will be invited, it just depends what the demand is at the time. If you are really lucky and you do get an invitation, you'll see that you will get an email that says you have been invited to apply for the 189 visa. And it is a very exciting but scary time as well, because you're like, oh my gosh, I got an invitation, but is everything correct? And that's where we start getting a lot of phone calls at our law firm as well, because people are like, okay, I need to check this EOI, I want you to submit the visa for us. But we have to go backwards because we have to check all the documents and all the points that were claimed. If it's a relatively simple application, like you haven't claimed much, not much work experience, it's pretty easy. But there are some people who have like 10 years of work experience and they claimed all 10 years, then they realize they were paid cash for 3 out of the 10 years and they're like, oh, I think I overclaimed points. So always get these things kind of checked before you actually lodge your expression of interest, because it's such a happy time. It is so exciting. Like your heart drops. Like my heart drops for clients. Like I can't breathe for like a minute. I'm so happy for them. And the last thing you want to be second guessing is whether expression of interest is correct. At that point, you just want to move forward with your visa, because getting an invitation, like in the past, has been hard enough. So you've been invited to apply for the visa, you'll need to submit all your documentation, and the point of this is to substantiate all the claims you made in the expression of interest. Some people are kind of like, oh, well then if I got invited, why did I get invited if they're still going to check it? Well, it was just an expression of interest. At the visa application stage, they still need to check if you actually claimed everything correctly. When you are submitting the visa application, make sure everything is correct, and then you'll attach all the relevant documents. Do attach all the relevant documents at the time of application. I found that this actually helps a lot and actually speeds up the process a lot. So if your application is decision ready and you've done everything, you've got your police checks, you've done your health check, it's very quick. Like I've had 189 visa grants happen in 3 weeks, which is just crazy. And I realized it's because those ones were like so good, as in the applications were clean. Every single document that was relevant was attached. There was not even a single pay slip missing. So that's my advice there with that. Anyway, so I hope that helps. If you are looking to submit your expression of interest, there is so many other things to look out for. So please remember to check the website, check the requirements, but more importantly, get legal and migration advice. I know there's a lots of information around, and I think it's great to, find that information. Even my YouTube videos, it's a great background and it gives you a head start when you are looking into this, but it's just too important. It's too important to not get the right migration and legal advice to submit this, because this is a chance at a different life, an opportunity in Australia, which if you see my videos, it's an absolute dream to be living in Australia.
All right, we're heading to BFT. I didn't wear any makeup today. I'm actually really proud of myself. No makeup. Well, no, I put some, as you guys saw before, some eyebrows and eyelashes, but maybe tomorrow I'll put on some makeup. But I use those magnetic eyeliner and it's really hard to remove sometimes. I am going out for dinner later, so let's see if I can be bothered putting on makeup or not. So I'm about a 5-minute drive from Body Fit Training. You guys will see. Super fun. I've been really addicted to it lately. But I'm always like that. I've always been quite fit, like going to the gym. I'm quite good at attending classes or doing YouTube videos and stuff like that. So it's quite good. So yeah. Quite gloomy today. Hello. Hello. Dumbbell. Hello.
So he's back and we're going out for dinner now. Yeah, okay, cool. So I called an Uber because it's too hard to park in the city. It's kind of a lot of work.
I think make your ride closer.
Ground floor. Yeah, okay. Look at my shoes. Oh my god, we've got such a nice table. That smells good. We're vlogging.
Oh, vlogging. Hi.
Hello, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, you me.
So if you liked my video today, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with people who need it. I've dropped our contact details in below, so if you want to get in contact with myself or one of our lawyers, please feel free to contact us. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.